Hey guys, this is Nick from ForexForNoobs.com with the midday analysis. Today is Wednesday, the 25th of October 2017, and the time is 14:27 here in the UK, just about to be 14:28. You're looking at a USDCAD daily chart. In today's analysis, we're going to be looking for reversal and continuation setups across all these pairs. So let's just dive straight in. USDCAD, what's going on with USDCAD? Yesterday, I spotted a potential reversal on USDCAD. I was waiting essentially for the candle to close. Today, the candle, yesterday, I guess, the candle closed. But it didn't really close how I wanted it to. It didn't really result in a proper reversal setup. But not all is lost. Today's candle still looks pretty decent for a reversal setup. It's a bit higher in resistance, but that's okay. I can live with that. It's going to give me a good risk to reward ratio, perhaps even a better risk to reward ratio overall, to be completely honest. So we still have potential for a short reversal here on USDCAD. So let's keep a close eye on this one today, guys. It still looks good. Still plenty of opportunity to go short here if sellers take control of price. So if the bears take control of price and it starts to kind of push down, and we see all the signs that we look for in entering a reversal, which are described in my trading strategy on the site, then we might get a potential short here. So keep a close eye on it. I'm watching for a reversal here. I think there's a pretty good chance of it. USDCHF. USDCHF continued to move up. It's now well above the resistance area. So, you know, yesterday we were looking for a potential reversal, but today not so much anymore, because if it starts to drop down, I'd be worried that it's going to stall here at the former resistance, which has now likely become a support area. So USDCHF is just off the table. New Zealand USD, we were looking at this one yesterday. Yesterday, if I recall, I was saying that New Zealand USD is heading towards support, because we had this candle open yesterday, obviously. It's heading towards support, so I'm going to wait till tomorrow to see if indecision forms. So if price stalls, essentially, on the support area. And it seems price is actually stalling on the support area, which is great. New Zealand USD is actually looking pretty good right now. This is a strong support area. It's held price back several times in recent history. So we got here, here, and here. So that was towards the end of 2016. This was March 2017, and this was May 2017. May 2017, it did get a little messy. It did dip below it, but that's fine. Let's see what happens here. It's stalling on here right now on the daily, and of course, if it's stalling on the daily, it's stalling on pretty much all the time frames. So it's stalling right now on the daily. I'm going to be watching this on the 12-hour and on the daily for a potential reversal. What I want to see is some form of indecision closing on top of this support area, and then I want to see a move by buyers. With this one, probably want to see a break of the high of the daily candle, to be honest. Probably not going to go with that 12-hour candle. It's a bit too risky. Probably a break of the high of the daily candle. It looks like it would give us plenty of risk-reward ratio is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, we got a good risk-reward ratio with this one, depending on how it closes. Right now, the candle doesn't look that great, but, you know, it's got quite some time until it closes, so let's see what it looks like when it does. I forgot to bring the chat onto the screen. Let's do that. All right. GBPUSD. What should GBPUSD doing? Cool. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything in the chat. GBPCAD, nothing much. I mean, GBPCAD has pushed up. It's yeah, there's nothing much going on there. New Zealand JPY. Oh, okay. We're looking at EURJPY yesterday, weren't we? There's still some potential for EURJPY. So basically, pretty much all the setups we were looking at yesterday are still showing potential signs of reversal. They didn't reverse as quickly as we wanted them to, but they're still showing potential signs. So here we are with New Zealand JPY. New Zealand JPY is just stalling out on this support area, and it's a pretty good support area. It's a pretty solid support area. You can see it held price back here. So it's back, it's here again. Yesterday, it tried to push through it, but we can see by this long lower wick that it didn't quite make it. Today, you know, I wouldn't say so far that it's stalling based on the daily. Maybe on the 12-hour, we can kind of see signs of it stalling, but it is creating a new low now. So I wouldn't really say that this is completely stalling, but we are seeing some signs that sellers are struggling to break through the support area. So what I want to do is I want to keep a close eye on this. It's very possible that by tomorrow, or maybe even by tonight, it just continues to push down, doesn't give us a setup. But what we're seeing right now is certainly worth watching. If we watch it and then we see a setup, we can trade it. So I'm going to keep a close eye on it. I'm going to monitor that. EURJPY, very similar to New Zealand JPY, just kind of in the opposite direction. EURJPY is pushing up. Looks like it might be stalling, but, you know, it's not that great. So let's just keep a close eye on it, see what happens. I want to see how it develops on the 12-hour and the daily. GBPCAD we just looked at. We were looking at it yesterday. It was one of the weaker setups yesterday, I think, for a potential short. But obviously that short never triggered, never came close to triggering. And as George pointed out, the news pushed it up. So this one is definitely off the table. AUDJPY. Who was still short on AUDJPY yesterday? Because you've definitely hit your target. Who was that? I can't remember. Was it UTAN or was it? Oh yeah, it was Imre. Are you here? Are you in it also, Sanjit? Did you stay in? Oh wait. Was this the one that we were talking about where Imre asked me if he should get out? Yeah, it was. Yeah, because this was on the... All right, nice. Cool, so you stayed in. That's good. That's really, really good to hear. This just kind of illustrates why you need to... You shouldn't be exiting your trades too early. Just because it stalls for a few candles, you know, you don't just immediately jump out. You need to hold on to your trades. You need to give them a chance to work out. There is some logic to getting out of a trade if it's stalling, if it's not heading towards your target. There's definitely some clear and sensible reasons to get out. But these few candles here, that is just not enough for you to consider exiting the trade. It's just 3 candles. So, well, at the time it was 2 candles, but in the end it ended up being 3 candles. But it's just 3 candles. It's really not that much. Even if it had climbed back up to here, you'd definitely be worried. But like I was saying yesterday, I would have still held it if it climbed back up to here because we still got resistance there. And resistance is pretty good at holding price from moving further. These 3 candles, they don't really mean much. They don't really mean that sellers have lost control of price. They don't mean that buyers have gained control of price. A higher high was, I guess you could say a higher high was created with this 3rd candle, but it's a very insignificant higher high. It's like, what, 2 or 3 pips? Who cares? A lower low was created by this middle candle. It's just, there was no reason to exit. So I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you stayed in. And Sanjit, did you stay in or did you close out? That sounds like a very evasive response. What is slightly early? It's okay if you don't want to say it though. Well, yes, I got out slightly early. But I did make profit, so it's all good. It's fine if you don't want to say it. It's one of the hardest things in trading, really. A lot of people think trading psychology is unimportant. And they think, oh, who cares about trading psychology? I can figure it out as I go. But trading psychology is one of the toughest things in trading because I call these things freak out moments, right? When you're in a trade and then it just stalls. This is just one of the many types of freak out moments. But when this kind of thing happens, inexperienced traders, they start to freak out. The first candle, maybe they're like getting a bit freaked out because it's pulling back. But then they're like, oh, no, okay. Then this candle pushes down and they're like, yes, it's pushing down. But then it comes back up. So then they start to get even more worried. Then this candle comes along, doesn't make a new low, makes a new high of a few pips. Doesn't really matter. But, you know, to a trader who's freaking out, they're like, oh, no, it's moving higher. And you then make... I'm not saying that you made a silly decision because I don't know where your target was. I'm just saying, in general, trading psychology. Traders make silly decisions and they close out a trade that would have ended up being profitable. You need a clear plan to follow for managing your trades. And free candles of stalling shouldn't really be exiting. But anyway, let's... we've been talking for 11 minutes here and we've not even got past the halfway mark of the list. So let's keep going. Good work to those of you guys who were in AUDJPY and made some profit, and even more thumbs up to those of you who held on all the way down to the bottom of this. Nice work. All right, AUD New Zealand, what's going on with this? Ugh, just messy, isn't it? AUDUSD, ooh, 4 hour. I'm not a big fan of the 4 hour anymore. I used to love the 4 hour, but it was really good, the 4 hour chart and the 3 hour chart too. Back in 2014, when the markets were moving so slowly, where you just couldn't really get any significant moves on the daily. But these days, I tend to stick to 6 hour and above. I'm not going to jump the gun and enter this on the 4 hour because it looks like you could feasibly enter it now on a long. But I think I'm gonna wait and see how this 6 hour and the 8 hour shapes up. Maybe even the 12 hour, but this does look pretty decent. I mean, we've got pretty strong signs of price stalling on top of a strong support. Yeah, it is a strong support area. It acted as resistance, but resistance and support are the same thing pretty much. So it acted as resistance in the past, but now it's acting as support. Let's keep a very close eye on this one, guys. Looks pretty good. We have a lot of setups today. CAD JPY. Just floating in the middle, nothing much happening there. Whoa. Today, how am I going to fit this all into the description of the video? I have way too many setups today. I mean, what can you say about this one? It's just like a solid, nice looking trade setup. It's counter trend. So we need to trade it with care, probably a tighter target. But obviously, this isn't a trade yet because this candle has just opened. We have to wait for this candle to close. But it's looking really good. Price is headed into the resistance area. It's stalling on that resistance area. Let's keep a really close eye on that one for a potential short reversal trade. I'll summarize them all and go into more detail when we get to the end of the list. EURJPY, nothing much going on there. It's just like in between support resistance. Euro New Zealand has broken above resistance, but yeah, nothing major going on there. EURAUD is pushing up. I was looking to go long on EURAUD on Monday. I think I posted it to the watch list of the forum, but the setup just didn't look that great. It just didn't give me enough risk to reward ratio. It's good to see it moving up. But yeah, I just didn't see a feasible entry point on it. GBPUSD. It's broken above resistance, so yeah, nothing much there. GBPCHF, nothing much there. GBPJPY is continuing up, but there's nothing that I would want to trade there. GBP New Zealand, it's in between support resistance. Let's see what happens when it hits the 1.9360. GBPUSD, oh, that's interesting. It's hitting up against this resistance area. This might give us a trade, but I don't really see, actually on the 8 hour, I guess we can keep a close eye on this one, but with all the trade setups today, that looks like not a great one in comparison. We have so many trade setups today that I am getting annoyed at the amount of trade setups. When there's so many trade setups, you can't enter them all. Well, you can if you want to, but you're gonna have to lower your risk on all the positions. That way you can enter them all, because you know, if you enter them all and then a big event happens that causes price to move in against you on all those trades you're in, then you're going to lose like a huge amount of your account. So you need to, when you're in multiple positions, it's usually smart to have a smaller position size on each of those positions, or just don't trade some of those setups and use your normal position size. So the fact that we have so many trade setups may seem good, but there is a downside to it, because now we need to decide if we're going to enter all of these, if they actually end up being tradable setups, or if or we need to pick just a few of them that we think are the best to enter. All right, gold and silver, no point, nothing much going on there. So let's summarize, guys. Euro AUD, we have what looks like a strong bullish trend heading into resistance. This is a pretty decent resistance area. Actually, no, I don't think we've checked this one. Never mind, I'm mixing it up with another pair. So let's see how strong this resistance area is. Now, it's not a great resistance area. It's an okay resistance area. It has held price back as both support and resistance recently, but it's just not a fantastic one. So let's just see how this one plays out. The weaker the resistance area, the less enthusiastic I am about entering a trade here. So this resistance area isn't that great, but it's still definitely worth watching. Let's see what happens here. We're already seeing signs of it stalling, you know, on the 4 hour, the 6 hour, but it could very well continue to move up. I mean, it's a pretty strong move up right now. So we just need to wait and see. If we see signs of it stalling properly on one of the larger time frames, like the 12 hour or the daily, then we might get a good setup here. So this one would probably be lower than the other setups we've seen today in the ranking for which ones are the best, I guess. USDJPY, I mean, this looks pretty solid right now. It's stalling very heavily on this resistance area, and this resistance area is a strong area of resistance. I mean, we can see the last two times it pushed up to here, it reversed in a big way. And not only that, it did the same before that time, just not as big a reversal. This time, obviously, it broke through it, but it's not always gonna be a perfect resistance area. But this resistance area is extremely strong, and now price is stalling right on top of it, much like it did the last two times it was here. If you look at the last two times it was here, they look very, very similar. So price is stalling right on top of it again. You know, this could give us a pretty solid setup. I'm actually quite excited about this one. This is a very strong resistance area. I like it. I like this setup. I'm gonna very possibly trade this one. But obviously what we need to see is we need to see this indecision candle actually closing. So we need to see price stalling on there for a significant amount of time. Maybe the 12 hours is okay, but we've got some time until it closes, so a lot can change. So let's keep a close eye on it. GBPUSD, you know, it's not that great to set up. It could be just like a continuation of what appears to be, you know, this kind of downtrend it's gotten itself into. You can argue that it's still in an uptrend overall on the weekly chart or even on the daily chart, but this does look like it could be the start of a downtrend, especially because when it tried to get back up, it fell down. So now it's trying again to get back up. This could be a short continuation. It's worth keeping a close eye on. USD-CAD, I'm going to kind of rank these setups by pulling it to the top of my list. So USDJPY so far is the best I've seen. I'm going to rank them by pulling them to the top. USD-CAD, yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, the resistance area is somewhat strong. It's a decent resistance area. It's not, yeah, it's not fantastic, but it's not bad. Yeah, let's keep a close eye on it. This could give us a nice little short trade. AUDUSD, this one had one of the strong support areas. Yeah, see how it acted as resistance there. Now it seems to be already acting as support. So let's keep a close eye on AUDUSD. That might give us a really nice setup. EURAUD. Wait, we already looked at that one, didn't we? Yeah, that one was the one with the... We have so many trades that I'm finding it hard to keep up with what we've looked at and not. EURAUD I think we've already looked at, so... GBPUSD obviously we have already looked at, we just looked at that one. New Zealand USD... this is a strong support area. Probably pull this up to here. I'm actually quite excited about this one. New Zealand USD looks pretty solid. What I want to see is I want to see this candle stalling on this support area. If it continues to move down, then this trade setup is probably off. But if it stalls on the support area, it might give us a nice setup. So probably this won't trigger until tomorrow, I would say. But let's keep a very close eye on that one. New Zealand JPY, I guess maybe rank that there. Nah, actually. This ranking I'm doing is just kind of like, don't put too much stock in it because I'm just doing it really quickly. I'm not doing full proper risk analysis on these setups right now. New Zealand JPY is falling into the support area, pretty strong support area. It has some nice history. It looks like it's moving down right now, but we're also seeing signs of it stalling. So let's just keep a close eye on it and see how it develops. I think EURJPY was the last one, wasn't it? Yeah. EURJPY, it's broken above resistance, but it's still stalling, so it's worth keeping an eye on. It's not that great. Wow. So we have a lot of setups, guys. We have USDJPY. These are a lot of potential setups. USDJPY, New Zealand USD, USD-CAD, New Zealand JPY, AUDUSD, EURJPY. Thanks for watching the analysis. I hope it was useful. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button below. In case you missed it, Forex Mastermind, my online training course and forum, is now open for enrollment for a few days. Check it out by clicking the link below this video. Also, for instant notifications when I post analysis or other cool videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the subscribe button below. Once the setups I share in this analysis trigger, I post live updates as I manage the trade, such as my entry, exit, stop, and when to get out of the trade. For these updates, add me on Facebook or Twitter by clicking the buttons below. I'll see you in the next video.